Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Yeah, it's like being at school again, yeah. All right, so, hello. So before I start, who's this guy standing in front of you? And really big face, that's scary. So I moved to the US a couple of years ago, although most of the people here will recognize a British accent. Unfortunately, a lot of people over there seem to struggle in working out where I'm from. So that often results in me being called Greg, or Gray, that's a new one on me, or even sometimes Gary. But my name is indeed Graham. In my day job, I am on the systems engineering team at Airbnb. I've released open source software you might have used, including Imager, a tool that was useful for deploying Macs before Secure Boot became a thing. Please stop using it. Crypt, a file vault escrow tool, which you certainly should use, and Sal, a reporting tool for macOS, Windows, and Chrome OS. I drink probably too much beer, and I have a slight obsession for automating all of the things. I am one of the founders of London Apple Admins. They meet every 3 months or so, although due to me living the other side of the planet, I don't get to go as often as I'd like to. We are always looking for speakers and hosts. So if you'd like to do either, please have a word with either myself, Ben Toms, Neil Martin, Darren Wallace, or Steve Quirk. And our next meet is on April 12th at Jigsaw 24 in Soho. So hopefully we'll see some of you there. And I have a ton of stickers as well, if anyone would like a lovely London Apple sticker. There you go. So we're also going for a curry tonight, the national dish of Britain. I think you'll all agree. So please can you respond to the thingy on Hoover, or however you pronounce that app name, by 12 o'clock today so I can book the table for the right number of people. So I'm also a testicular cancer survivor, and I've been in remission for about a year now. When I came to Macaduk last year, I had surgery to remove the tumor literally a couple of weeks before. I didn't even know I was going to make it to Macaduk. But when I got here, I knew I needed to do something to help people who weren't quite as lucky as me to catch it as early as I did. Largely due to the support of the Mac admins community, I was one of the top individual fundraisers of 2018, raising over $12,000. But unfortunately, we didn't manage to cure cancer the first time around, so we need to try again. So if you find any of my talks useful, have used any of my open source software, or read anything on my website, please consider donating. The first one is Movember US, so you need to donate in US dollars on that one. The second one is Facebook, and you can donate in whatever currency you want pretty much, and they'll eat the conversion fees. All right, so here's the real title for my talk, How to Automate Yourself Out of a Job. I gave a talk a few years ago at Penn State about how you could automate yourself out of a job by not doing things manually, how to set the doc for script, how to install stuff to use a template, all things you don't need to do anymore. Most of these days we get these for free with our management tools or our MDM. So what kind of things do we need to automate these days? So what's our goal? What are we trying to get out of today's talk? Well, my goal is usually to get to the pub quicker. So what is stopping us from getting to the pub quicker? There's writing and testing scripts, making packages, general repetitive tasks. So WTF am I talking about when I'm talking about CI and CD? I'm talking about continuous integration and continuous delivery. So first off, we're going to talk about continuous integration. So in a nutshell, you're going to have your code stored in a source control system of some sort. It'll usually be Git. It could be something more exotic like SVN or Mercurial. And every time you push code up to your source control system, a robot will do something with said code. It might be running tests on it to make sure the code's good before you can merge it into master. It might be running something else on it. It's going to do something. So why do you care about this? Your code's perfect all the time, right? So if you have robots checking the style of your code, everyone starts writing code in the same way. This makes it easier for other people to work on your code. And if you have tests running on your code to make sure it doesn't break anything, you're going to have less outages. And if your team can make changes with a higher degree of confidence they're not going to break anything, you'll get more people contributing code to you. So let's look at this from a nuts and bolts perspective. When when you're checking your code into a source control system like GitHub, this is you sitting at your lovely blue computer, you check it into GitHub, and it's going to send it a webhook to your CI system, which is obviously running on a really old Mac Mini, because that's where everyone runs these things. The master will then send the work out to one or more slave nodes to actually run the job. That job might be linting your code, might run tests on it, all sorts of things. So there are probably hundreds of CI/CD systems. I'm going to talk about some few that I've used. This is no warranty. I'm not saying these are good or bad. It's just a couple that I actually have experience with. So first off, you have Jenkins. It's an open source project. You can host it yourself. So if you have no budget and lots of time, it's a decent enough option. But it's pretty old school. And this one I will express an opinion on because I don't like Jenkins. So there you go. So next up, we've got BuildKite. It is commercial, so you will need to pay for it. And you need to bring your own build node. So you're paying for it and you're spinning up infrastructure. The control server, the logic where you run all the controller for your CI tools is hosted in the cloud though, so you need to worry about scaling that bit. And because you are bringing your own build node, your code never actually leaves your infrastructure. So if that's important to you and you don't want to ship your code off to a third party, it's an option. So the one we're going to be using today is Circle CI. They are also commercial, but they, like BuildKite, actually have a free tier for open source projects. So we're going to use the free tier today. But they have totally hosted options. They'll host everything for you that you need to run your CI system, including macOS build nodes, which is what we're going to need today. So if you're working on Mac-specific things, you are going to need to run these stuff on macOS. There are obviously loads of other options. Google and Amazon have build tools within their cloud platform. So if you live in either GCP or AWS, you could use those. I discovered from Steve Quirk the other week that Azure also offers macOS build nodes. So they're an option too. Right, so you write a sweep shell script, right? How do you know it's going to work? So this is super complicated. I'm sure no one has any idea what's going on here. I don't. It's beyond me. But then we decide we might want to use hello world elsewhere. So we move it to a variable. I mean, this looks pretty reasonable, right? I mean, mostly reasonable. Well, I mean, this is pretty much my level of bash, so. So then we run shell check on it. Shell check is a linter for your shell scripts, and it quite rightly tells me that I've been a stupid boy. And it also tells me how to fix my code. So let's say I make the changes that it suggests here, and I push my code, and all's well, right? My script works. Great. Except I've only solved the problem for me. What happens when I forget to run shell check next time I do something stupid? When I'm desperate to get out of the office, go to the pub? What happens when my colleague does exactly the same thing after he spent all afternoon on the beer? At best, I'm going to have to point out that they've done it wrong during code review. Or at worst, I'm going to push out broken code and take down my entire fleet. So now I need to ready you. We're going to stop mirroring, and we're going to do some stuff. We'll start mirroring. All right. Swipe. Swipe. Jesus, age. That worked well, didn't it? Sorry. All right. Let's make this bigger. Well, I've shown how to do this before. Click. That one? How's that? Beautiful. Right, we can see that. You'll see that? Cool. Right, good. We'll stick with that. Okay. So I've pushed said code to GitHub. Make that a bit bigger. We can do that. Cover up my dirty desktop. So you can see we've got a change here. Cool, right? That's a conversation. But with all our tests have failed because we have some tests set up for this. So in Circle CI, we can open up this guy. And we'll see the output of our test. It's going to check out our code, so clone it into Circle. Install shell check in our little Docker container because we're running this one on Linux because this is not Mac specific, this is just bash, so we can run this on Linux. And it has output the things we've done wrong, much the same as it was when we ran it manually. So we're going to go and fix our code. So what do we need to do? We need to not use $sign assign variable, put spaces around it, and double quote our variable. Cool, right, let's fix this. So I'll do that, do that, do that, and do that. Awesome, that should fix it. So I'll go to my bash prompt, nice and big. Okay, so we've changed it. There, I fixed it. Honest. Cool. Right, so we're going to push it. Cool, the internet works. So we can head back to our pull request, and we see these have gone orange now, because that means they're running the tests. This is all specific to GitHub. I mean, this is on the free public GitHub. Oh, and my check's passed. So I can show my text and say, oh, look, wonderful. Green ticks, green's good. And I fixed it. So I know that my bash might work now. Might not, but it still might work. So we can merge our pull request now, because that's all looking good. And we're done. So we fixed it. So we are going to head back to our slides. So we know that it looks good. But how do we know that our code actually does what we think it's supposed to do? Let's say we were writing a bit of Python, which we'll switch over. We'll close these. We'll look at this guy. So, stop complaining at my computer. Nag, nag, nag. Is that big enough? Oh, that's good enough. OK, so we have this little Python script that runs software update, downloads everything, and then works out if we need to reboot the computer or not, if restart is in the output with the software update command. I'm not saying you should do this, but it's an example that you could do. So let's say this looks good, right? I mean, we're getting the output of our subprocess, and we're running it to see if it requires a reboot. If restart is in the command .lower, we return true or return false. Looks OK? Looks mostly OK, right? You're all asleep? That bored already? Yeah, we can get to the pub soon, it's OK. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to do some unit tests. Unit tests are how you can make sure your code actually does what you think it's going to do. So if we head over to our PR for this, we're going to see that our unit tests are failing. We're also running black on this. This is an opinionated linter. I like it because it doesn't have any options, so it will lint your Python in the way it thinks it wants to lint it, and that's it. There's no arguments about it. So we're going to open up our unit test. And let's make that a bit bigger. That's kind of hard to read. So we've got a unit test to make sure that we return a Boolean all the time. For some reason, it's failing, saying true is not an instant cast, it's not a Boolean. How's that possible? I mean, true is a Boolean, right? Well, actually, no, because we're returning a string here. It's a similar mistake to make. So we can fix this guy. Learn how computers work, right? There we go. Cool. And we'll push that. OK, so that's pushed up, and our test is starting to run again. So we're running all the tests again, just to make sure we haven't introduced any linting errors or style errors. Oh, it passed really quickly. So we can go back to our unit test. They ran OK this time. That looks good. We can head over to our lint tests. That's really big. Black didn't have to do anything. That's wonderful. So now we're relatively confident that we're not, because previously with the code, we'd have rebooted every single machine in our fleet, whether they had needed to or not. That'd been fun. I'd have got shouted at. I can go to the pub, get drunk, and no one cares about this anymore. Robots helping me out. Okay, right, so we're going to merge this. Happy days. All done. Okay, so let's head back to the slide deck and stop mirroring. Yeah, separate display. Okay, can I get back to my speaker notes? Because my dock has just disappeared. Which one am I on? Alright, let's get my... This is officially the last time I've used Google Slides. It sucks so hard. Come on, I need my slip. Speaker notes? Maybe.
Left 2.
Yeah, no. There we go, thank you. Right, cool. Oh, I don't even know what you want. Block. Go away. There we go. There we go, right, wonderful. We're almost there. It's okay, I know what I'm doing. Sort of. All right. So, great success. We have not taken down our fleet. So we've seen how not only can we make it reliable for our own code, make sure we don't do stupid things, but we can allow other people to contribute code without the fear that they're also going to take down the fleet. That's a good thing. So we've seen how we can integrate our code, run tests on it, make sure it's not doing bad things. But what about the delivery part? What are some of the things that we need to deliver as Mac admins every day? So eventually, we're all going to need to make a custom package for macOS. You might have a management tool which isn't so good at deploying software, which requires you to put stuff in a package. Or you just need to deploy your own stuff, your wallpapers, for example, because that's what we're going to deploy today. But the problem with packaging is that it's really boring. You have to make sure you've got the right bits in the package. You have to bump the version of the package. You then got to build the package. You then got to upload the package somewhere to deliver it to people. That sounds like busy work to me. It's kind of boring. And now, after all that fun of me getting my screens right, I need to not mirror anymore. I didn't think about this much, did I? Right, mirror. Yeah. Oh, I need to mirror. Oh, lordy. All right, cool. Oh, for God's sake. Seriously. No, we do. Displays. Talk amongst yourselves, it's fine. This went so well. That's the one.
Graham, I think you should automate this.
I should, yeah. But if you automate everything, then you literally don't have a job. So you should only automate the boring bits, and the fun bits like clicking buttons you can keep doing yourself. All right, cool. Where we are. There's my packaging. Here's my packaging. All right, so we have this job. Let me click, can I? There you go. We have this job, which built a package, payload op, company wallpaper, and we've got 3 JPEGs in here. And we also have a script to run with outset login once, set the wallpaper. I'm sure most people have done something similar to this if you're deploying wallpapers. So here's our job. This one we are actually running on a macOS box. So with most modern CI/CD tools, you are configuring your jobs, your pipelines, within your repo. Each one will do it slightly differently. Circle CI likes a .circle-ci directory. Buildkite by default likes a .buildkite directory. So you define your workflows, which contains many jobs. And our jobs, this one, we're saying we want this to run on a macOS box. Because most people using this will be doing this for building things like iOS apps. They care about Xcode version. I don't particularly care about Xcode version, but we're just putting one in anyway. And we're setting our shell, we want bash. So our steps, we want to check out our code. We want to run this script, which is build.sh, which let's have a quick look at it. We are getting the number of git commits for our version number, so we don't have to think about what version we want to set our package to be, because it will always go up every time we commit. and then it's a basic package build, setting identifier, version number, that kind of stuff. If you use package builder on command line, it should look very familiar. So we'll go back to our job. And we've also got this other one here, upload to S3. So this is how we can start delivering our packages. One of the most basic ways is uploading it to an S3 bucket and making it available for download. But we don't necessarily want to do that on every single branch, right? You're pushing changes and people are reviewing your code in a PR. It's kind of bad if you built that package and pushed it to production every single time you pushed a branch. Because if you push broken code, you break your music, break your devices. So in our workflows, we're able to filter on particular branches that we want to run each job on. So we've got two here. We've got this one down here. We're only going to build a package, and we're going to ignore anything that happens on master, because this will happen on every other branch. So we'll build the package every single time we commit, make sure it builds okay. But when we actually merge into master, it's going to run this guy. So it's going to build a package and then upload it to S3 for us. And this will only run on master. So we have this PR, a new wallpaper. And I've just realized that the AWS access keys I've got set up on this job might not work, because I revoked some yesterday and didn't actually test this bit. So we'll find out. So we've merged it, and we're going to head over to Circle CI and go to app. And our job is running. So we can have a look at it. So we're waiting for it to spin up a Mac OS VM for it. I assume this is running in Mac Stadium, somewhere like that. But we're waiting for a VM. I guess this is running on VMware on a poor little Mac Mini, struggling, screaming, because we can't run builds on real computers. And we're still waiting. This is one of the problems of trusting someone else's infrastructure when you're trying to do a live demo. This is good, isn't it? There we go. Right, good, we're in. So it's going to pull down our code, which is quite chunky because I did really bad things, put big wallpapers in Git. And it's built our package, and it's uploaded the package to the workspace, because each job runs in its own little environment. So now we can go back to this guy, and it failed. I'm not actually surprised. What failed? Permission denied, site package user. Oh. Do you know what? I'll fix that in post. We don't care about that. But on the upside, I'm not pushing broken code to my fleet. So there are good things about this too. Okay, so you know, I'm just going to wing this without any presenter notes. So another thing that as Mac admins we often have to do is run things on a scheduled task. If we were running things on Linux, we'd probably use cron. If we're running on Mac OS, we'd use a launch daemon or a launch agent. But that involves having to provision a box to run those things for you, having to manage those scheduled tasks over the cron or launch agent, getting the files on there. That seems like a lot of hard work and busy work. So what is a scheduled task that a lot of Mac admins will do? Yeah, you will really want to get to the pub soon because you're bored of running scheduled tasks. It's very tedious. See, that's why I need my presenter notes. Sorry, I hate people who present as you go, oh, I'm so jet lagged, oh, I'm so hungover, but I'm sick as hell, and I have a 4-month-old daughter who has not learned how to adjust to a time zone. So what's a scheduled task we often run is auto package. Sure, a lot of people use auto package here. I'm not going to ask for a show of hands, but thank you, helpful. For the recording, Ben Toms just felt the need to stick his hand up because I asked no one to do it. How do you schedule that? You might not schedule it at all. You might run by hand. That's perfectly valid. You might use a tool like Auto Packager to run it on a scheduled task for you. That's not how I run it. So this is how you might want to run auto package in a CI/CD pipeline. Auto package, your tool will run auto package. It will then say, oh, cool, you got new software. It will then push those changes to Git because your monkey repo is hopefully stored in source control. It's not no judgment, but you should probably think about it. And then it will create a pull request for you. And then all the admin needs to do to get stuff into production is go, hey, this looks cool, click merge, and it gets out to your fleet. So let's have a look at how that might work. So I have a job running in here. Let's find my auto package overrides. I'm going to rerun this because this one actually works. So this is going to spin up a macOS box again for us, and hopefully not take as long as last time. And it didn't, that's wonderful. So it's going to check out our auto package overrides repo. It's going to install a few bits we need. We've got submodules, so all of our auto package recipes are stored as Git submodules, which is like a Git repo within a Git repo, so we can pin specific versions of auto package recipes we want. We're installing a few dependencies. We're cloning down our actual monkey repo. Put auto package on the bots, because we also need the monkey tools. And it's going to copy over our recipe repos and our overrides, which we store in Git, and our settings. And then we're going to run this terrible bash Python script that I don't actually know who wrote, but it's what we use at work. And we're only running one recipe. It's going to be Google Chrome. So it's going to go around, go run auto package. It's going to go get the latest version of Chrome. It's going to create a branch on our Git repo. It's going to push that up. There we go. And we'll see a load of junk from GitHub after it's made the PR for us. There we go. And that is our job done, right? So we were running this manually. I've disabled the schedule. You might, in reality, want to run every minute, every hour. Doesn't really matter. So we can head over to our monkey repo. Mac, monkey repo. And oh my word, we've got a pull request here. So normally you'd probably want to check out this branch, make sure it looks okay, but it's fine, we trust Chrome. Chrome never breaks. We'll merge that. So you've merged it into master, but now what happens? Do you go to your admin machine, you pull down the monkey repo, then upload it to S3? Well, no, that doesn't sound very, very nice. It's a lot of work, right? So we can head over to our monkey repo. It's going to run? Yeah, it's running. OK, so we've got a job running on our monkey repo. So this is going to, because we're storing our packages in Git LFS, large file storage, because as I said before, you shouldn't store large files in Git because it'll destroy your repo, make it run really slowly. So we're going to install Git LFS onto a Debian box because this doesn't need to be run on macOS, it's just Git. And it's going to install the AWS CLI for us, which it's now going and going to take forever to do. And I bet it's going to fail again. And we're going to upload it to S3. And this is actually working. This is amazing. A demo that worked properly. So it's gone along and uploaded our monkey repo to S3 for us. And thank you. I assume that's sarcasm. Probably is. But OK, cool. Our monkey repo's in S3. But we also have macOS boxes in CI. So wouldn't it be really cool if we could make sure that our monkey run actually ran? I mean, really, you should probably do this on a branch basis, but then you need a bucket per branch, and that was more than I was able to do for this demo. So what we're going to do is run monkey on the VM, make sure it actually runs OK. So it's going to go along, it's going to download the latest version of Chrome, and just lets us know if stuff's broken straight away. I mean, unfortunately, this means that stuff is broken in production, which is kind of not a great thing, but at least we can catch it quickly. So it's going to mount the disk image, and it's going to try and install Chrome. Slowly install Chrome. It would be funny if this failed. Come on. OK, our monkey run's finished. OK, so cool. We haven't broken anything. It's great. We're all done. Happy days. OK, so back to our slide deck. And the notes. Do this bit first. Yeah, sorry, this slow. All right, cool. You can go back. You can go back here. That worked better. Got there in the end, and it's that one. Click. All right. Yeah. So here's what I hope you're going to take away from this talk. Using tests and linting helps keep errors low and helps you maintain a consistent style to your code. This allows you to work faster because you have more confidence in your code that you're deploying. Using CI/CD means you don't spend all your time doing tedious work like building packages or performing other busy work. And all of this means we get to the pub quicker. I wasn't expecting to be put on in the morning. They normally let me speak in the afternoon. But, so if working on things like this sounds fun to you, we are hiring, including in London. So it's help desk in London, but we're also hiring a spot and desk next to me in San Francisco, if you fancy that. You will find all of the code that I've shown today at that URL, and I will even fix the job that broke, so we can look at that. And that's it. Any questions? Seriously, no questions? We have several. The microphone, please.
Okay, first of all, thank you very much for your talk. And I just wanted to ask, since you're building all the, since you're running all your AutoPKG recipes in CI, have you ever had any issues with the size of the packages? Or is this not your problem because it's Circle CI's problem?
Okay, so we do not use Circle CI in production. This is me personally using it. This is not an endorsement from my employer. We use a different CI/CD tool.
Thank you.
Which I'm not allowed to advertise.
So at the end, you had a test build that installed Chrome. Have you ever done another job that runs Monkey again to make sure that it doesn't need to install Chrome again, to verify that like the state logic is working properly?
No, but that sounds like a good idea. Happens occasionally, isn't it?
Yeah.
Anyone else? So you're all experts on CI/CD now. I'm that good at this. That's a lie. Okay, cool. Thank you very much.